What's going on, you savages? Welcome back to more WWE 2K18 hidden features, showing you guys some of the features in WWE 2K18 that you guys might not know about the game. And the support recently has been amazing, so we're gonna keep it going with your suggestions and your features that you guys have been telling me about for me to cover. So starting off with a very easy one, and these are the extra managers that are in WWE 2K18, because some superstars have extra manager attires, and just like last year they made into this year's game. But this year there's some new addition adding to that list. So starting off with one that is brand new this year, that is Shane McMahon, as he has a manager attire pretty much how we see him on SmackDown Live as the commissioner, suit up many of the weeks. Up next we got Triple H manager attire, which is pretty much Triple H in a pseudo authority figure that we know he is. Another new manager attire for this year is Maurice. The difference here is minor, as in one of them she just got wrestling boots instead of the regular one that she does when she's making her entrance as the manager for The Miz. And last but not least, it is Ric Flair manager attire, which like last year features the same one, and it is also the updated model of Ric Flair, or I should say a more updated model of Ric Flair, which if you go into edit superstar, go into Ric Flair 91 and pick his manager attire, switch the superstar attire to superstar, then you're able to use Ric Flair new model as the actual superstar when you pick in Ric Flair. Of course you will have to make a more recent attire for him, but that is a way that you could do that, or the best way that you could actually get around it, just go into community creation and download it as it's already there. Moving on, and we're talking about more title, and this is a follow-up to my previous episode discussing how you're able to put two championships on the line just like last year, and you get that double championship animation. Unfortunately this year it doesn't seem that we are getting double championship entrance. So last year there were some superstars such as The Rock that if he had two championships, then he will come out with both championships. The Rock himself had a special entrance for this. Previously we also got guys like Chris Jericho coming out with double championship specific animations. This year seems that that was removed completely, which I found it weird, because these specific animations, there was nothing wrong with them except that there wasn't many of them, but still it was good to see them on guys like The Rock and Chris Jericho and Stone Cold Steve Austin and so on. And sticking with championship, there's actually title limitation in WWE 2K18. What I mean by this is pretty obvious that, for example, the Cruiserweight Championship, the new and the old one, you're only able to assign Cruiserweights to that championships. But yes, there's some extra additions such as having Finn Balor, Xavier Woods and so on. This is basically guys that are under 205, even though they might not be part of the division itself, but you're still able to assign them as Cruiserweight Champion. But a hidden feature that you might not know is that the Light Heavyweight Championship also features the same limitation as the Cruiserweight Championship, even though this wasn't the case last year. So very interesting to see that because of the Cruiserweight division making their debut in this year's game, some other championship has to be limited to that division itself. Moving on to some other feature, and this is in regards to the limousine in the backstage area, specifically of course in the parking lot area. So if you're on top of the limousine, you could actually throw somebody off the limo just like you would for the stage and also the semi-trailer truck. So those special moves that you get to use on the semi-trailer truck and also of the stage in the arena works the same way for the limo, and also if you are even on top of a car. And yes, these could result in you winning the match if you're playing a backstage brawl match. Sticking to the backstage, and a new addition to this year's games is the fact that we're able to use the fire extinguisher, and it has new animations. There's a couple of spots that you're able to pull it off from the wall, and one of these spots is by the parking lot area, but nonetheless with the fire extinguisher you can hit your opponent how many times you want, and unlike other objects it will not fade off, but you can also use the fire extinguisher onto the opponent. I tried it a couple of times and you're able to use it 3 times. At that point the fire extinguisher runs out and you can just use it as a weapon, but the superstar actually does this animation, kind of checking the fire extinguisher up to why it's not working. But nonetheless, you savages, there you guys have it, episode number 4, WWE 2K18 hidden features. Many more features coming up in future episodes, so let me know down in the comments below of rare and hidden features that you guys might not know that I haven't covered yet, so that I could cover it in a future episode. I would drop that like button and turn on those notifications to be fully up to date and to not miss any of my upcoming coverage. We be on the road to 50,000 subscribers. Dig it? Oh, by the way, make sure that you guys check out my previous episode if you guys haven't yet.